Hey, good evening. This is Adam from Adam Knows. Let's talk about this new development that came up. So, what I have on screen right here is something I downloaded off the Fed site, their seizure list. The reason why I did is because I got a few notifications from people on Instagram and on YouTube about this being out with Omar's inventory of his stuff that was taken. So I said I'll take a look at it. And sure enough, he is on here for two states. And we're actually going to look at them, New Jersey and Pennsylvania. Now, before we even go any farther, I saw this on King Geo's channel where he apologized about it. And like I said on King Geo's channel, I acknowledge that the feds did a seizure. But apologize? Nah, that's not going to happen. And I'm going to show you why. Because even though this did actually take place, he still lied about it, which made it easy to poke holes in his stories and make him look like a fool. So I'm not going to apologize for someone lying through his teeth to try to make something seem true. But since nobody else has done this, let's do this now. Like I said, this is the FBI list of seizures throughout the United States. It just doesn't show what they took from him. It shows what they took from other people. Now, the first one we're going to look at is New Jersey. This is where the bulk of everything was taken from. And it looks like they seized vehicles from him himself and vehicles that were either owned or in possession of a place called DHY Motorsports, as well as another few other owners' names that came up in cars. Let's see if we can find one. We see DHY Motorsports in a lot of places. Now we know where he was getting his fake tags from since they're located in Jersey. Let's see. Where's that other name at? There was a couple of names in here. And then also, while I'm looking for this, we're also going to talk about what we don't see in this list that he claimed was taken. Okay, the names must be in the Pennsylvania one, so we'll go to Pennsylvania. Here we go, for example, the Mercedes-Benz AMG registered to a Claudio Roman Jr. in possession of Bill Omar Carrasquillo. So stuff like that. When I tried to point out some of the cars had title owner names that weren't his, and that wasn't the only one. There's another one, something CK something, if I remember the name, that I brought up in a video a long time ago. Now, here's the thing that's not in here. That's what makes me laugh. Remember in his videos, he always kept trying to bring up proof about this was taken or that was taken. There was one specific video where he brought up he had $5 million in the bank. And then he showed you guys a screenshot from his phone of his bank account showing a pending negative $5 million from his bank account. You guys can pull this up. I want you to show me where they took $5 million from him, where they took $1 million plus of anything from him. The only money I've seen seized in this whole thing is about $40,000, $20,000 seized from him right there, and then $20,850 seized from a Bentley. No other references to money seized. So where's this millions he was talking about that was seized? Answer, he never had millions, like I said from day one. And if you guys forgot what I said day one here, let me remind you. Here's the thing about Omi and a Hellcat. He does a lot. I will give him that much. He does. And I actually salute him for it. But he exaggerates the fuck out of shit. Like I said from day one. But let's get back to the the FBI seizure. So we see some more cars that go along the ownerships between him, someplace called DHY Motorsports. The one name I pulled up, I'm trying to find that other name. I know it's going to be in here. Let's see. Oh, see right here. This is what I'm talking about. If they seized funds from his bank account, here's an example of someone whose funds were seized from a bank account. This person had funds in a Bank of America account. They list the account number, the name that's on the account, and how much was in there, or the value of what was in there. And they even showed a JP Morgan's cashier's check showing they seized that. And again, funds showed in a Wells Fargo bank account. So these millions that he said they froze out of his account didn't happen because he never had it. He probably doesn't even have a bank account. That's the thing. Now, another thing he said that was seized was everything that was in his house. Remember, he said they took the TVs, they took his video games, they even pinned him down to the ground and took the watch off his arm. Now, he stated he was in Pennsylvania at the time. Here's the Pennsylvania inventory list. Where do you see TVs, video game consoles, a watch, any of that? And if I'm going too fast, you can sit there and download it yourself off of the FBI. All you got to do is search FBI seizure list in Google, and it'll pull up this page for you to download this. But here we go. He was in Pennsylvania at the time. They seized nothing like that. This is why when we saw it and started questioning them, it was too easy to poke holes in his story because, like I said, he was lying about the whole thing. Here, let's double check the New Jersey. All bikes, basic vehicles, and there's a lot of vehicles on here that weren't mentioned because there's a couple that I definitely don't see. The first one that comes to mind is I see two of the Lamborghinis. I don't see the third one. I don't see the Chevy Blazer. Let me see if I see the RS8. Yeah, I saw the RS8. But yeah, there's several vehicles that aren't on here. Okay, here, the Lamborghini Uru. So, I guess the owner of that is FC Kerbeck. That's the name I was trying to remember earlier. Remember I was telling you guys in my older videos about who owned a lot of some of these vehicles. FC, and I brought up this name, FC Kerbeck. And here we go again, DHY Motorsports for a lot of stuff. And then we're getting out of his name. So let's go back. A bunch of bikes. Value between $1,000 to $8,000. That's what the majority of this stuff is. Bikes or recreational vehicles. That's it. The other thing too is, and we got to go back to the Pennsylvania one for this. Let me make sure I'm back at the beginning of it. That's Ohio, so that's still Ohio. Here we go. This is where he starts for Pennsylvania. Something else that was also a lie that we brought up many a times. Let's pull that up. Remember this right here? This is the raid.
That was the FBI guys.
Good feeling.
Like I said, this is North Hope Street right here.
Two houses.
They're going across the street.
Claimed that the raid took place the same day.
They're going to the right. This is West Ontario Street.
Stuff out of these houses.
And as you can see,
all this stuff. Again,
they're going right here.
None of this stuff is shown in the FBI forfeit seizure list.
I'm going to pause this where they're at.
There. They didn't take anything from it. Remember, we kept asking for videos.
You can actually see it better once I shrink it back down. And you can make it out.
VCR,
Here's the intersection.
Inside the house. But
here's the first building on the corner. They're at the
listed
second
in the
building,
inventory.
okay?
So
Remember that.
again, like I said, it was too easy to punch holes in the story.
Here's Google Maps. We're going to go back to where the police are parked at.
Plus, we had already proven that his video was altered with the voiceover screaming out the address, and then he turned around and did
There's the blue wall.
Citizens app,
Same as in the video.
and Citizens app proved that you couldn't go back but so many days on the Citizens app where he had showed it gone back 20 plus days, and Citizens app said it was impossible. So, like I said, acknowledge the raid, no problems. I have no problems doing that took place. Yes, a raid took place at 2 addresses and then followed up at another address of a place called DHY Motorsports. Now, the other thing he lied about was the reason why they did the raid. These raids were done in pursuant of a federal law. I guess this is 18 USC 98A1C. What is that? Basically, he's committed some type of major fraud. And if you look this up on Google, and there's a site from Cornell Law School, and it breaks down and explains what the pursuant codes are in this. And in this case, everything in this case has to do with him committing some type of major fraud. So what was he saying? The IRS stuff? Least of his problems. That's probably something that'll come after later. That wasn't the reason why they were going after him. That's just a bonus on top of everything. They got him because he did something really, really stupid. Probably, like we said, money laundering, or he scammed somebody out of that money and used that money to buy what he did. So, again, he brought this on himself. So no pity from this way. You do stupid stuff, stupid things happen to you. But I know in this generation, for some reason, people are obsessed with running frauds, pulling scams. They want that easy money. But that easy money comes at a price, and it looks like your boy's about to pay that price because he did something stupid. And that's the only thing I can say on that. But that's all good. This is finally can be put to rest. Like I said before, people kept bugging me about why am I not making videos about Omi. I don't make videos about him unless something worthwhile came up, and this is something worthwhile that came up. So here you have it. And again, for the 5th time, I do acknowledge that the raids took place. But I'll be damned if I apologize because he's a straight out liar and lied his way through all this crap. No way. What do you think? Of course, as always, leave a comment below. I'm curious what you guys got to say about him supposedly having millions that were seized and how his house was stripped out clean, but it ain't on here. Nor do we see any bank accounts showing any millions of dollars taken out. But put it below. Y'all have a good night.